Yo, what is going on, guys? Here is a gameplay against Free the Penguins, who was the runner-up in the Xbox Last Chance qualifier. He ended up losing to Fancy, who I believe is a crew member of theirs. And yeah, so this was a gameplay against him. This is essentially the game that knocked me out of the tournament. Now, I think I got cheated, although I have watched it back, and I had some moments where I felt definitely could have went my way, as well as a couple things to take away from it that he ended up doing that I didn't necessarily see it in the moment as I was playing. But one of the things that he did was every fourth down, and I got him into a lot of fourth down situations, he would no huddle, and it wouldn't allow me to actually set up proper defense. So, as you'll see throughout the course of this game, he picks up a lot of fourth downs. And those are moments that, honestly, looking back, if I would have just burned a timeout and set up my defense the way that it should have been, it wouldn't have come down to the same, 1 to 2 plays that I think ultimately decided this game. So, as you see, I'm on offense. I am running the Dallas Cowboys offensive playbook. Now, this offensive playbook gives me the tight Y off weak, the tight Y off formation. It also gives me a really good trips tight end offset, a good gun bunch, and it gives me my empty tray stack, which is really what I've been known for in the community this year. I felt really average on offense when I faced anybody that was not running dollar. So leading up and leading into this tournament, I was really explosive in the run game against dollar, but as I started facing more nickel normal, more 3-3 cub, three not necessarily 3-3 because 3-3 is just like dollar to where I could just gash it with the run. But I faced a lot of different formations besides dollar that ultimately I felt like this switching over to this offense kind of hurt me. I didn't want to deal with dollar, so I went with a run heavy approach. And as you can see, like how this game's going, I could still run the ball against Penguins and against really anybody I played for the most part. It was just more of a grind. I wasn't able to trigger the pancakes like I was able to do against dollar, where basically if my opponent pinched their defensive line down, I would be able to pancake their linebackers and just get massive running lanes. So ultimately, switching offenses, although it did help me against some people, it hurt me against some others, right? I mean, you can kind of say that really with everything. But overall, my game plan was to milk the clock, run the ball as much as I could, milk the clock, play good defense because I really like the way that I'm playing defense, and ultimately, win games that way. I didn't want to get here in shootouts with my opponent. That definitely wasn't the game plan, going into it with this offense being, run heavy, as I mentioned. And as you can see, like this first drive, I took the entire first quarter. And you see, we get into the end zone. That was a very successful drive. Like you couldn't have really scripted that any better for me, in the sense that that was exactly how I wanted to play. Right, I took the entire quarter with me. I scored a touchdown, and now I put all the pressure right back on him. And now I know him being an offensive player. I know he's going to be, not necessarily great on offense, but he's going to be good enough to where like it's going to be a struggle. And first play of the game, tight offset. He knows what he's doing. He's hitting corner routes to the short side. He really flooded both sides, and I broke that down in the tip yesterday. I wasn't prepared for him to be able to attack both sidelines the way that he was. It was definitely not something that I was used to. You see that I am in match defense right here. Now, the key to this defense and the reason that it's so successful for me in this tournament is the fact that every DB that I have in coverage, right? So you've got the two outsides, the two deep safeties, and then both slot receivers all have mid zone KO and deep out zone KO. And they're all going to match into different situations unless I have them in drops. And even if I have them in drops, the mid zone KOs and the deep zone KOs are going to play those corner routes and any route that's going to break, open over the middle of the field pretty easily. There you see him being able to no huddle, as I mentioned earlier. Like that was something that I picked up on after watching this back. He no huddled every third down that he could, and would audible into something that would give him an advantage to pick up the fourth. And it's a great strategy. It's not something that, like I said, I even noticed, but I know I had him on a ton of fourth downs, and you'll see throughout the course of this. But like he's struggling to move the ball right now offensively, right? I mean, anytime you're on fourth down in a game of Madden, you're not where you really want to be, right? So this is going exactly how I want it to go. He is, I don't necessarily want to say struggling on offense, but like he's having to work on offense. And on offense, I did exactly what I wanted to, right? So, I mean, he's 5 for 5 passing, which, I really was hoping for better stats than that, right? But overall, I mean, look at the clock, right? I mean, I took the entire first. He's right now on pace to take the entire second, and you'll see that ultimately that's going to happen. So the first half of this game is going to be over, right? And we're each going to have one possession. So we're essentially playing an entire second half to see who wins. So a first half, you'll see he's going to go to the split flex, I think it's the call. A lot of players go to this, and I have good defense for this formation. So the run game is not really going to work. I know that they're going to try to throw to the red zone threat, so you see that I'm manning him up to give me that dual coverage. And red zone threat in general, if he was going to throw to one of these guys, not only, as you see, I'm manning up both of them, but I'm also in match on the outside, and match does a good job against red zone threat. So you see really good run defense, and ultimately we hold them to 3 points, and that's really all I could ask for, right? I take a lead. You'll see he's kicking a field goal here. I'm going to take this lead into the second half, up 7-3. And I feel this game is really in my favor. Like, I feel like I'm playing, good enough defense to where I'm going to get a stop. Offensively, I did exactly what I wanted to do. I ran the ball well. I, went up to the 5 wide when I needed to. And I was able to pass with relative ease. And, I mean, what more can you say? First half is what it is. I take the lead going into the second half. It is 7-3. I don't really feel at this point either of us has really made a mistake. We're both playing really well. I felt like we played very good. Now, here in the second half is where you'll see a couple different things, right? See, that time I audibled out of the cover 4 into a cover 3. And you can see it kind of confused him a little bit. And that's really the chess match. Like, I was in this cover 4. A lot of the times I was leaving it in match. A lot of the times I was putting it into a drop. So even though I was in cover 4, it was either cover 4 match or it was cover 4 drop. And you could see, like, he would go for bombs. Sometimes he would get them. Sometimes he wouldn't. But, like, for the most part, like, he's having to work. And you see right here, 3rd and 10. It's now 4th and 10. And this is the first play coming up that I feel like I kind of got a little screwed. And I'll explain why here. So, as I mentioned earlier, all of those players have mid KO. Like, every one of them has mid KO. So that theoretically would have been a drop. The only reason it wasn't a drop is it triggered a 2-person interaction, which in theory should have made him drop that ball. But instead, he's able to hold on to it. If either of those defenders aren't there, that's a drop 100% of the time. But the fact that there was 2 there, which theoretically is better coverage, that ended up screwing me. In the long run, he catches it. And of course, very next play should have been a turnover. He hits me with a bomb that I didn't see coming. That was at a speed return or speed dig. I think a speed dig is the name of the play. I did not know that was a cover 4 match bomb. And he hits me with it. So good offensive play. Still should have been a turnover. I should have the ball, in my opinion, up 7-3 trying to drive. So at this point, I'm already starting to get on tilt, right? So I feel like I got screwed as I'm playing here. Here, this is another play that, although I don't necessarily think I got screwed on it, if you paid attention to that, if you just go back and you watch it, I click on my receiver, try to undercut the ball to where I can't get hit, and ultimately, I just don't get an animation that allows me to, cut the ball off. So I basically just get stuck there, hits me, and of course I dropped it. Here, this was the worst play I had of the entire tournament. It is 4th and 24. At this point, I'm on full tilt, and I dump it down into the flats for literally no reason and just get tackled, give him the ball. Here, he throws a ball that I felt like should have been picked. Of course, it's not. Fortunately, he drops it. So right there, I felt like I played really good defense. That was a drop coverage. He threw right at it. This time, I leave the match, and he runs the same play, and it gets wide open for the score. So now it's 17-7. I'm in a complete bind. You can see now where I felt like I had full control of the game. Now I'm really on tilt. Here, not a good read. He put his outside corner into a 30-yard flat. I threw the post route. Did not expect him to be there, and I was fortunate on that play that he didn't get a pick, and I just dropped it. Now the next play, I throw a little out route. His outside left corner does not have flat zone KO, so I don't feel like he should have dropped it. It wasn't a great read, but kind of is what it is. I end up dropping that. Have to go back to the empty tray stack, and we throw a dot, right? That's the post wheel. Love that play. Really a staple. Here, I go to the run game a little bit, just trying to calm myself down at this point. Here I see he's in man. I see his players move over, which means I have the ability to quick hike throw that screen, and we take it to the house. So 17-14, and at this point I'm feeling okay again, right? So I'm back. I'm playing kind of smart. You see, I'm audibling around with him, just kind of being annoying. He tries to hit another cover 4 bomb. And ends up overthrowing it. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because he would have dropped it. As I mentioned, that player has deep zone KO. So, there kind of is what it is, right? Here we go. I'm playing great defense. We get the D-line shed sack. It's 3rd and 15. We're going to go ahead. He's going to audible. Here, I'm blitzing, but I've got a 3-rec. So that 3-rec, when I leave that there, essentially just hikes and jumps straight to the flats. Now, this play really annoys me. And this play is set up to take away that short side corner out. And the reason that it will take it away normally is he's throwing into triple coverage, essentially, right? And one of the 3 people there, once again, all have the deep and mid zone KO. One of the 3 hits him at all, he's going to drop the ball. He gets the wildest catching animation that I've seen on that ag catch, catches it, falls backwards, somehow never touches any of those 3 players. So now I'm starting to get back on tilt, right? So at this point, I'm fuming again. I feel like I should have gotten off the field, trying to stay composed, playing pretty decent defense, and ultimately, he milks the 3rd quarter right there, and it's what it is. It's I'm in an absolute hell game. I knew going into it I probably was going to be into a hell game. So here I'm mixing and matching what I'm doing. He throws a little option route to the running back, and the knockout actually hits him and knocks it out right there. 4th and 8. Once again, another 4th down. One of these you got to figure I'm going to get off the field, and this is the play that just absolutely pissed me off. I don't know how that's not a pick. I should have the ball running the other direction, probably a pick 6, and instead Peppers misses the ball. Keep in mind, has pick artist, misses the ball, he converts it, and that's essentially the play that I felt like just if anything to where I got cheated, I felt like that was the one. I feel like I'm playing solid defense, right? I'm mixing it up. I'm doing what I need to do. Here he throws an in route, good in route. Don't really have any complaints about that one. So he's driving. My hope here, my thought process here is, hey, I hold him into 3. I've still got a shot, right? Because I feel comfortable enough on offense to where I should be able to drive down the field in the empty tray stack. So I'm essentially playing, pretty good defense. He throws a nice little mesh concept right there. The 2 drags the post. I go play the post. Nobody ends up guarding the drag route to the tight end because I was in match. So here we go back to cover 3. We get the shed off the edge. And 2nd and 17, feeling pretty good. And yeah, so this whole drive, I mean, you can tell probably by even my voice in this voiceover, this drive annoyed me. And I'm feeling good. Once again, we audible to cover 3. Nothing's open. He takes a sack. this is perfect scenario. 3rd and 24. I should hold him to 3 every single time here. And he hits me with, you see I'm in cover 4. I'm playing the deep half on the side. I fully expect that corner out to not get open, once again, as I broke down yesterday. That completely caught me off guard. He ends up scoring, and that was, for the most part, the backbreaker. So I'm going to drive down here. I'm going to eventually, put together enough yards and get into the end zone, so where I can make it a 1-score game. You'll see this is going to end up being a drive to where I get points, but I don't necessarily get them nearly as quick as I needed to. And you see that was a good hit. Just dropped the ball. Nothing really against that one. Really, really good defense. You see here he's in match. He's in man. So I'm going to audible out to the jailbreak. And with his user, he makes a really good play, because if he doesn't make that play, it's probably another house call. And here we're going to go back to curl switch. Absolutely love this play. Actually, nope, I audible at the last second. And we're going to hit him with the drag route here. That's pretty much what that forces on post wheel. They either guard the drag or they guard the post route. He has been hit with the post route numerous times now, so he goes to guard that. I'm able to hit the drag underneath. But as you see, right, this is the downside to really how this drive went. He was playing good enough defense to the point where I essentially milked myself out of this game. I didn't want to burn any timeouts, right, because I didn't want to rely on an onside kick. And you'll see, I get the score. I don't even onside kick. I kick it off. Once again, I feel like I played good defense this game. I feel like I could get a stop. Now, before that, you'll see I'm gonna go for 2 here. Now, this was a play to where I have it open. You see the B route just wide open, and my dumbass hits the wrong button. So luckily, I'm able to make the tackle here, so it's still a 4-point game. Even if he returned it for 2, it wasn't going to matter, because I still have to get a touchdown to win. But you'll see we're going to be on defense here. I kick it deep. I feel good enough playing defense. Maybe this was not the right thing to do here, but I'm playing good defense. 1st and 10, he has nothing open. 2nd and 10, we're going to do the same thing. And this is going to be something else that kind of annoys me. You see, I'm playing deep. Now, I'm trying to send my spy, and if you watch my user, I send my spy, theoretically, and I'm taking that route that the guy was guarding. And, he never ends up guarding it, or he never ends up sending towards the quarterback. He picks up the 1st down scrambling, and that's essentially ball game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. You enjoyed the gameplay. If you want to see more gameplays, I have all the games I recorded. This was obviously the best one against the best player, and then it also obviously knocked me out of the tournament. So, let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. You guys want more tips? You want more gameplays? Let me know. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.